All right, welcome back. Now let's, oops, my bad. Where'd it go? Here it is. Okay, so now you should be on this page. Here's what we wrote on page 13. Okay, so you're using what you wrote on page 12 and page 13 to create your short response to this question, okay? So eyes up here, let's read the question. Ready? Let me make this a little bit bigger. Whoa, that's too big. Okay, so use the space below to write your answer to the question on page 13. So the question on page 13, not that one, says, what is the main idea of paragraph 1? How do the key details support the main idea? Use the space provided on page 16 to write your answer. So use that space below. So we're talking about what text? The identifying constellations, okay? So write the main idea of paragraph 1. So how should we start it? What are we talking about?
Probably like the what's it called? The constellations, something.
Okay, so first we need to write what we are talking about. We're talking about this text, right? So we need to write in capital I because it's the start of a sentence.
I'm writing blue.
And then quotation marks. Identifying constellations, which is also capitalized because it's a title. Identifying constellations, write it down. This is your sentence starter. Quotation marks. Again, write it down. Page 16. Good, Ariana. Good, Emma. Dylan, do you have your pencil? Where are you putting the food? Stop.
I'm putting spoon evening.
Right. That's not okay. Okay, what are we answering about this? What are we going to talk about? The main idea. Okay, so in identifying constellations, the main idea of paragraph 1, because that's what we're going to answer / talk about. Okay, so the main idea is, so now what you need to look at to remember what you wrote down, what the main idea was. You need to look back on page. The main idea of paragraph 1 is, so now I should be hearing pages. Flip over because we wrote the main idea on page 13. Right there in the bubble. Do you remember?
It says
Think Bo.
to make
Sense of the sky.
a sense
The ancient
nation people use
constellations.
constellations.
Okay, perfect. So now go back to page 16 and start writing it down. So the main idea is that what did we say? So copy exactly what you wrote down on the bubble for main idea in that sentence to finish up that sentence. To make
Something about every year, I sat by the teacher's desk.
I don't know, I just kind of went in number order. So since you're number one. Keep going. To make sense of the sky, ancient people. To make sense of the sky, ancient people used constellations by grouping stars. Used constellations. To make sense of the sky, ancient people used constellations by grouping stars. Very good. How do the key details support the main idea?
Period. Oh, I found my thinking.
Okay. So now you need to write in the key details. So now go back to page 13 and the key details that we wrote, you need to put in as well. So now start your sentence. The key details, I'm going to start writing smaller because I'm running out of space. The key details support the main idea. Write it down. By helping the reader understand what? What do they need to understand about the text? What a I love seeing all those pencils so busy and writing on their papers on page 16, not on the desk. Thank you. To understand. Well, I guess I drew on your desk because I wrote your name on your desk. By helping the reader understand what a constellation is. Period. And now this is where we put in our examples, right? For example, oops. Comma. Now this is where you plug in your 3 details. So that should be 3 more sentences, right? So look back on page 13 and copy your details and put it right here. So what was our first detail? Because I forgot exactly what we wrote.
Why the one you didn't talk
For example, so now we need to find the examples that we found. Some constellations are based on look like you copy this. Constellation. So now you're just going to copy from over here. So this here. Okay. So you're gonna have to flip back and forth. On your key details. So this one, period. Try to put it as best as you can. I know I'm on my last line too. I wonder if I can. Let's see, for example, some constellations are, what did we write? Some constellations are.
There's constellation like the day.
Are based on everyday life and objects. Yes, Ariana? Are based on, that's okay. Everyday life and objects, period. Okay, what else did we say? Some constellations are based on mythic mythic heroes or monsters. Is that what we said? Mythic heroes and monsters. Or, comma, some constellations are based on, I'm just copying exactly what we put in that Key detail organizer on page 13, okay? Based on mythical heroes and monsters. We have one more period. What was that last detail? People made stories based on the constellations? Okay, once you have finished this up, I want you to leave it on your desk and then go on to Lexia, and I'm going to be checking your writing. Okay, so the third detail, make sure you put in all three because we found three. So the third detail also tells constellations used to, what was it? Create stories. Period. Okay, and your conclusion sentence.
Wait.
These details support yes, Ariana? Okay. The main idea to understand constellations. Barely going to fit mine. Next time I know that I will start up higher. Constellations.
Wait.
Nations. Period. Okay, so you should have similar to this, if not this. Ready? In identifying constellations, the main idea of paragraph 1 is that to make sense of the sky, comma, ancient people used constellations by grouping stars, period. The key details support the main idea by helping the reader understand what a constellation is, period. For example, some constellations are based on everyday life and objects, period. Or, comma, some constellations are based on mythical heroes and monsters, period. The third detail, comma, also tells us constellations were used to create stories. Okay, I need to put a caret and a word. See, that's how it's good to reread your writing. Were used to create stories, period. The details support the main idea to these details support the main idea to understand constellations, period. Okay, this is a short response that I expect for Thursday's writing as well.
More like an
Okay.
extended. Yeah, I think it's extended.
Well, it's only one paragraph. Okay. Oops. Okay, so that's good enough. Make sure you get that all in on your ready reading page 16.